So for my first question, it is tell me about a time you were under a lot of pressure. What was going on and how did you get through it? So at my first job, I worked at Nothing But Cakes and I worked at the register up at the front. And on the day I was working, it was my second day and my coworker's first day. And we happened to be working the busiest day of the year, which was graduation. And I ended up finding out that my coworker really didn't have a whole lot of experience in knowing the system, but I was starting to understand the system a little better. So what ended up having to happen was I was jumping back and forth a lot, which ended up making both our jobs super, super hard. And so I ended up asking someone for more help in the back, but it was all hands on deck already, so we had no extra set of hands. So what I ended up doing was making two different signs. I made one to put on her kiosk that said pick up orders only, so she didn't have to put anything into the system. She was having a hard time with that. And then on mine, I put place orders only, since I kind of already knew what I was doing, and it ended up making the day so much smoother. My second question is, give me an example of a time you faced a conflict while working on a team. How did you handle that? So at my PT Tech job, I was trained by our experienced tech, and I knew all the roles and responsibilities already. But I was the PT Tech that was there at the end of the day by myself, which meant I got all the end of the day duties, and my job got really hard because I had a hard time finishing my job at the end of the day with the extra set of duties I was placed onto, and that was going up to the front desk and finding charts. I didn't read that in any of my pamphlets about having to do that, so I ended up bringing it up to my manager in one of our monthly meetings, and she was like, y'all aren't supposed to be doing that. That's not y'all's job. So I ended up finding out that my tech actually worked at the front desk, and so she brought some of her jobs to the back, which we didn't end up needing to do. So my boss ended up setting all of us aside and re-explaining all of our priorities.